Hey, it's Lee for On Your Marks Wrestling, and I'm here with a 205 live review for April 10th, 2018. We start with a little video recap of WrestleMania. Then we have the announcers. Vic Joseph informs us that Nigel is gone for 2 weeks. But he also announces that Percy Watson will join the crew permanently, and he's there tonight. I don't know why they need three guys. I don't like the three-guy booth, but whatever. You knew it was coming. So we start the night out with a match between Akira Tozawa and Kalisto. They have these kind of intro promo videos where Kalisto is just talking about his Lucha House Party thing. It was actually well delivered, so it's good. I don't know if he rehearsed it or if he's just more comfortable in non-live situations, because he's used to be kind of brutal on interviews and stuff like that, but this was good. And then Tozawa says something about people disrespecting a person that he really respects in his partner, Itami. And so that's why he's in this match. The two guys are lightning quick, and there's just a bunch of really quick exchanges to start the match. It's cool. You've got Tozawa, who's very, very fast, and then Kalisto, who's very, very, very fast. There's a top rope bouncing Spanish fly by Kalisto, which looked cool. There's been a lot of Spanish flies over the past couple days, but I thought this one was unique. Then I wrote Tozawa monkey flips-ish Kalisto into the turnbuckle, and it goes legs first into the turnbuckle. At one point, Tozawa hits a basement drop kick, and his dive, which is probably his suicide dive, is probably the best one in wrestling, in my opinion. It looks the most painful. Tozawa tries his finish, but Kalisto gets the knees up. Eventually, there's a cool kind of pinning attempts sequence with different roll-ups, different cradles, all sorts of stuff. But then it ends up with a Salida del Sol and the pin by Kalisto. So Kalisto wins the match. Then we go to Mark Andrews in the back. Tony Nese walks up to him, says that Gulak has become a sadistic jerk, and that Nese should be the one who kind of teaches him a lesson. But then he tells Andrews to kick some ass, so it's kind of hinting at a Tony Nese face turn, baby face turn, which could be cool. Andrews and Gulak, they have their match. Gulak comes into the ring and basically kind of cuts a promo where he says he's a man of the people and says there's a time for a PowerPoint presentation, but then he says that this is not the time. He needs to beat up a, what did he write? Punk rock nitwit. Or is it pop rock nitwit? Nitwit. Got it. Nitwit. Okay. The match is kind of a typical match for Gulak. It's not very exciting, but eventually he pushes Andrews into a ring post from the outside on the apron. Then he starts targeting the back, and it's just basically kind of let's punish Andrews as much as we possibly can. There is a cool crucifix into a pin by Andrews at one point. There is also his standing moonsault where he does the twisting thing. At one point I wrote, idiots focusing on anything but the match, so I'm guessing there were beach balls. If there were, I hope the person who brought the beach ball got punched in the face. There's a stun dog millionaire for Andrews at one point. And then, but Gulak gets the Gulak, which is Dragon Sleeper, onto Andrews for the tap out. I believe that's the first time they said Gulak. Maybe I missed it before. Gulak kind of wins. He's walking away, and then he goes back and he puts him back in the Dragon Sleeper. That's when Tony Nese's music comes on. He runs into the ring for the save, and then he does his really beautiful running, twisting dive to the outside onto Gulak. Nese goes back into the ring and just kind of calls in Gulak, and it was clearly a face turn, which is cool because Nese was doing nothing as a villain. He's not the best talker, but I find that to be a really great villain, you need to be a great talker. To be a good babyface, or a great babyface, you just need to be a good talker or acceptable talker. Yeah, I thought that was cool. So then we get Drake Maverick in the back, and he's talking to some people. You can't see who it is, but he grants them a tag match. And then they zoom out, and it's Jack Gallagher, and it's the returning Brian Kendrick, returning from an eye injury. He expresses a little bit of concern over them trying to get revenge on Hideo Itami, who was the one who caused the injury in the first place. Then we have Drake Maverick walk up to the ring, and he actually cuts a really fiery promo. There's a small dig at John Cena where he says, like, John Cena was sitting there, but I was sitting there. Because that was such a focus of the show. He announces Alexander into the ring. Alexander gets "You deserve a chance," and he references the whole "Please sign Cedric" chant leading to this WrestleMania moment. Just says it means a lot to him and his family. Mustafa Ali's music comes on. Excuse me. He says that Alexander didn't just deserve it, but he earned it. Then Buddy Murphy's music comes on, and he's not coming down the ramp. And then you see him do a slightly sloppy, sneaky attack on Alexander, hits Murphy's Law. Maverick is great in this segment because he's just yelling at him. He's like, "What are you doing? You were going to get your shot at him. Why would you do this?" And Murphy's just ignoring it. It was completely logical. It was effective. It was, I just thought, I keep wanting to call him Rockstar Spud, but Drake Maverick was really good this episode. I thought the episode as a whole, not the best 205 Live. Like, the first match was the highlight, and there were a lot of storylines move forward, but last 3 or so weeks prior to this, there were like amazing matches, and this today I thought was a very good match. I'm going to go ahead and say this was a 6.5 out of 10. I just didn't think it was that memorable. But still, I've seen far worse than this. It's still a pretty good show. All right, thanks for watching. I will have another one next week, another review of 205 Live. Up next, though, is either Ring of Honor or NXT, depending on how I'm feeling. All right, bye.